What's up, tribe? Thank you for being here and welcome to my channel. Today I thought I'll share some more of Matias de Stefano's blog with you. Today I'm sharing a blog titled The Expectations. I'll be referring to Matias as me and to the I am as I am. So this is a conversation between him and his higher self. And so I'd be referring to Matias as me and to his higher self as I am or soy. Because it's yo soy in Spanish, which means I am. Soy, I can tell you're a bit irritable today. Me, yes, I haven't woken up in the best mood really. But the strange thing is that there is no reason whatsoever to feel the way I do. I am. Many things are moving, and it's normal. Me, I think that because of everything that we're doing, there's a kind of purging of the physical, emotional, and mental bodies, and this emotion arises. I am. Can you identify her? Me, well, it's like that feeling of reluctance, that everything bothers me, like all I want is to have stayed all night. I think he was like, all I want is to have stayed the night all day. I think there's a typo here. He either wanted to stay home all day or to stay up all night. Anyway, I went to the pyramid, and even in there, it was the first day I wanted to get out and go. A feeling of, I'm wasting my time and I'm bored. I am. What makes you feel wasted time? Me. I think it's the fact that every day looks like the other. It's a feeling that I move in circles and nothing new happens. I am. You're used to your life changing completely, hour after hour. Me. Yes, my daily goals are not one. There are usually several. So I am. And that keeps your mind and emotion entertained? Me. Yes, the feeling is that things are always happening and that there's always something to tell. I am. Well, you live in the rhythm of a series with adventures and magic around every corner. Me. Yes, all those who traveled with me, my friends, family, others, feel that times are revitalized and that very crazy and inexplicable things happened. Because you embark on an adventure without limitations. You have no limits of imagination, territory, time, and that breaks the structures. And being able to manage all that energy, magical things happen, which in reality is not magic. It's simply having left the routine and seeing the truth of what happens when moving through the world, through reality. Me. That's what happens. Everyone who knows me knows that I live like in a constant movie, where there are always many things to do and live. And I think that despite how well I have taken the monotony since the quarantine began on March 15th, upon arriving in Egypt and started this daily structure, many things have started to move, but me. I am, because it was your task to be the hub, remember? Me, yes. And it's counterproductive for someone who lives traveling and changing every hour to ask him to be fixed in one place, going to the same place every day, as if he were a monk in a closed temple. I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing at Matias. I always find these conversations very humorous. I am. What did you expect from this? I am. Oh my god, the sun is almost blinding here. It's staring at me. I think the sun wants me to be serious now. Okay. I am. What did you expect from this? Me. I don't know. Nothing really. I am. Honestly, tell me. Me. I was expecting two things. One, that it would be a journey through the 32 nods of the earth, so I would have to run and adapt to something new every day. And on the other hand, I thought that this would be something much bigger, with more movement, with more diffusion, and in the end, it's being something very homemade, very close to friends in the same place doing exactly the same thing every day. I am, well, and what emotions do you feel because of this? Me, well, a bit of everything, although lately I have literally felt nothing, empty. But today I began to realize that I feel a bit of a strange disgust at my situation, as it's not what I expect for myself. It's not frustration because I feel that everything is going very well, but rather like the feeling that when you're going to bite an apparently delicious and juicy apple, and when you dig your teeth in, it's sandy and without flavor or juice, dry. That feeling, I don't recognize her name. I am? Disappointment? No? Me, I think so. When things, even though they're good and working, do not go as planned, and you're left with a strange feeling of disappointment, restlessness, discomfort, like being in paradise, but alone. I am. This is because of the expectation you put on things. Expectere, from the Latin, to expect something from outside. This is common to all humans who project a destination or objective on the horizon, but before reaching it, the idea of it arrives, because we all move in one direction with hope of finding what we imagine. It's like one who wanders through the desert through mirages, seeing water in a sea of sand, and yet it advances, trying to find that oasis at last, although it hardly does. The mirages are real. It's the heat evading the environment, generating a distortion in the light that gives the sensation of waves, of platinum liquid. But it's our mind that drew the water, the palm trees, the animals, and the grass. The emente is so fast. It says the ement, but I think that's another typo, and it's meant to be the emanation is so fast that even the emanation is so fast that it even reaches the destination before we even figure out which direction it is. And what we see in our mind usually always surpasses what later I live in reality. Thus, I will never be able to enjoy what I find, what I am, and where I am, because I am always waiting for something from the outside, something that I cannot be, because it's only a projection. Me. So you say that my mind tries too hard to live magic in something that it does not have? Not? I am. When you wait a year to go to the pyramid and activate it with friends, entering it becomes an act of discovery, innovation, pinnacle, culmination, and completion of a journey on your way. A mission is accomplished. A conflict is resolved. There's an outcome. The body becomes excessively tense, and in an instant it becomes excessively relaxed. A certain sensation of ecstasy floods the body due to the adrenaline, endorphin, and dopamine secreted in the effort to make everything go perfect. So, in ecstasy, you live the magic. The roads join, the networks combine. Suddenly, you understand things. You connect the information with others. And in the face of the unknown, the wonder of discovering yourself, understanding, seeing the sun arises, and joy gives meaning to the act. Me, but I am, but when entering the pyramid becomes routine, greet the same vendor every day, the same guards, see that they already know you, going the same way, going up the same stairs. Suddenly, the king's chamber loses magic and becomes a cavern of carved rocks, or even worse, your work office. And the excitement. I'm not laughing at you, Matias. I swear to God, I love you to pieces. And the excitement of going to work every day is commonly known, especially for someone with the moon in Sagittarius. And just by the way, I have Sagittarius in 4 placements, so I know what that means. Okay, back to the blog. It's not about me. It's never about me, apparently. So back to the blog. Me. Yes, it slowly destroys my emotional body. I am. I am. And this is because the expectations you set can go in 2 directions. Either create a pre-established idea of what should happen, or on the other hand, create the idea that something must happen, even though I don't know what. Something that's a surprise. Me. I'm more of that second option. Before it did project the idyllic of how it should be. However, for a year, I am more of the second type. I flow, I let myself go, and I prefer to surprise myself without preconceived ideas. I am, and yet, you fall into the despair and desolation of nonsense. You start believing that it's not worth it, that this is not changing anything or anyone. What's the logic? What's the logic of going to the pyramid every day to sing if no one sees it? If the pyramid will not go flying through the air, and, however, behind it there is something that you're not seeing. And the thing is that behind the uneasiness, there is perseverance, doctrine, routine, pulse. The heart is the transmitter of all possible emotions, and yet its pulse is the same, constantly. Its routine makes magic possible. Sometimes it's necessary to understand that great things are achieved with small steps, that the greatest magic lies in the simplest acts, that a mechanical and doctrinal act in unconsciousness becomes a trap, but from consciousness it becomes a pulse, a heartbeat. That the longer you press, the further your rhythm will go. The noise of hundreds of stones falling on the surface of a lake generates a lot of distortion, but a lot of disorder. A simple drop falling on the pond marks a mantric rhythm that connects the entire lake in harmony. The mind that wants to see the lake move feels that the drop is weak, slow, desperate. Quiet your mind, inspire, and observe your daily acts, and instead of turning them into routine, quiet your mind, inspire, and observe your daily acts, and instead of turning them into a routine, turn them into doctrine and make doctrine a consciousness. And the constant act will become consistency. For a plant to bear fruit, it must grow at a patient pace, concentrated in every millimeter of its here and now. A plant that as soon as it emerges from the seed hopes to become a fruit, expends all its energy and will die before it even sees its bloom. The further your rhythm will go. Me? Patience? I am? No. It is not a question of patience, because patience implies expectation. It implies doing what I do by hoping that one day something happens to change my state. What you need is here and now. To honor your journey and build a fruitful future, you need to practice the here and now, one day at a time, one step at a time, with no expectations of what's to come. The future is built with the acts of the present. Stop looking at the horizon and contemplate the axis that you are. Become aware of the minimum acts that are repeated in your day-to-day and recognize them as the pulse of your heart. Now, do them knowing that every time you get up to go and enter the pyramid, it is the first bang of the heart. And when you leave, return and right. It's the next bang. And every doctrinal act. Me, the word doctrine. Me, the word doctrine is very strong. It's almost religious. I am, because you have messed up the concept. Doctrine arises from the words doser, tor, and ina, which mean respectively teach, agent, relative to. That is everything related to teaching, science, the search for wisdom. Wisdom is not found in the epiphanies of seconds, but in the constant practice of minimal and insignificant daily acts, which build an understanding of the universe that surrounds and composes me at this cellular level. If you become aware of these acts, you will become a sage, without the expectation of this epiphany that will already live in you every day. Me, that is to say that all of us in our lives, if we make the repetitive acts of our daily life conscious as the heartbeat of our being expanding in the world, we will be like that drop that can harmonize the entire lake. I am the tick-tock of time, the bang-bang of space. Me, it's true, my big mistake is expecting more than I live on a day-to-day basis. I am, oh no, remember it was your mistakes that got you here. Thanks to wandering, you are finding the only thing you should hope to find, yourself. The rest will come alone. Me, going from expectation to action. I am, close your two eyes, those that look outside, and you will see that everything you imagine finding outside was a product of your interior, and they already live in you. Don't expect to be tomorrow what you can be today. Me, thanks for being. I am. Thank you for being.